G'day guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we are here to review AFL Fantasy Round 15, and overall it wasn't a very good week for me. 1732 was the score. The rank is absolutely atrocious, 36,455. Let's get through a few players that I actually liked the performance of. Harry Sheezel with the 116, McKerchie in his first game in the team with the 99, Adam Chera was good with 109, Brayshaw was pretty good with 104 in his first game for the team, Dacos and Ashcroft both 100 pluses, you don't mind to see that, Marshall got the 105, and Jackson, of course, top scorer for my team with the 144. So a couple of good players, but overall, dismal week. So let's get through some of the bad lights. Max Holmes only got 71. Roberts only got 76, pretty disappointed with that sort of score. We'll get to Zach Merritt in a minute. Sheldrick with the 70. Rosie only got 79 after being tagged. Bailey Smith, really unfortunate for him, only got 94, one of his lowest scores of the year. So it does show how consistent he has been so far, but unfortunately he couldn't do much in their loss against Brisbane. Chad Warner only got 71. Daniel with 76, really fallen off. McLaughlin not too great, but wasn't really expecting much from him. But Zach Merritt is the big talking point. 57 points. They're not playing him in the midfield. They got the bye this week. I have rage traded him. We'll get to that in a moment. However, let's take a look at my brother's team. So overall, he only scored just more than me. He scored 16 more points than me, which isn't exactly great, let's be honest. Now, overall, he had a very good defense. He had Nasai Wanganeen Miller at 125, Ash 103, Jordan Clark 33. However, where his forward line really drops off, he had no Jackson, of course. He had Myers with 78. Higher scorer for Geelong. I think he was in the top 5, but they just couldn't get enough in the end. Jason Horne-Francis looked pretty hampered by that injury throughout that game, I think, with only 67. In the midfield, Ned Long didn't do great in his first game. He had an average, I think, over the last 3 games of 111, so to only get 76 isn't ideal. And overall, Liberatore, not great either. But he had similar sort of problems to me. However, the captaincy was the real problem with Tristan Xerri. Only getting 84 in the end was the big issue. Went with him as captain. Bit of an odd choice, but overall, probably should have done a bit better over the week. His overall rank for the round was 33,470. So both of us had a dreadful week in AFL Fantasy. But, of course, things can change very quickly, and that's what hopefully me and my brother are trying to do this week. So let's get to our trades for the round. So at this stage, this is the final round for 3 trades as well, guys, just to remind you. But I have gone with, at the moment, El Harley out with his injury for Tom McCarthy. Angus Clark out for a 230 defender, so basement price. And I got rid of Zach Merritt for Matthew Kennedy. Now, that Angus Clark trade for the basement price player, I have to get a defender. Unfortunately, I can't transfer players in and out of that team, so around the team, to get a different reserve. So unfortunately, I had to go with a basement defender. At this stage, it's just a placeholder player at this moment, so that will probably change as the teams come out for next round. But I like the trade of McCarthy. Had a really good opening game for the West Coast Eagles. He should be there for the rest of the year. Obviously scored, 101 in his debut, so really like that. And Matt Kennedy, what a season he is building for the Western Bulldogs. I think he's going to have a really good rest of the season for them. He scores 100 every single week, it seems. Basically, since round 6, he hasn't scored under 100, so I mean, likely he won't get 100 this week. That's just how the cookie crumbles, it seems. But Zach Merritt had to go. Has not scored 100 in his last 5 games, from my understanding. Isn't playing midfield. Granted, what will happen here is after their bye, they'll chuck him in the midfield. He'll score 120, and I will be very pissed off. But I was going to get rid of him anyway. It was either going to be him or Will Ashcroft. I've gone with Zach Merritt. I may get rid of Will Ashcroft next week, but had to make that trade now. Matt Kennedy into the team. Hopefully he can score 100. Now, my brother's trades for this week are Clark out for McCarthy, Will Ashcroft for McKercher, and Ryan Myers out for Kennedy. He's got 3 players that I already have in the team, so he's just trying to copy me at this point, but obviously the 3 people that he did bring in are in pretty good form. McKercher, I went on him early last week, and he delivered very nicely, playing off of halfback. They're trying to use him as a player to cut through the line, trying to kick off that 45, and he is absolutely wonderful in that defensive half for the Kangaroos, so he's going to keep that role for the rest of the year, get disposals for fun. Now, Ryan Myers, I thought it was a bit weird to trade him out. However, he said he's going to probably be getting him back the week after the trade, so we just wanted to make a quick little detour there with Matt Kennedy and then bring back Myers the next week. We'll just have to wait and see how that plays out. But before we end this part of the review, of course, for AFL Fantasy, you have to take a look at the ladder. We have a new clubhouse leader in the league with Delusional Fools taking the top spot after a very good week from him. He scored 1,971. Very nice job from him. It leads by 4 points, by the way, over the Cheetah Cubs, who has been the clubhouse leader for quite a few weeks now. He is only 4 points off him, so they're very close together. Behind both of them is the Welshman. He is nearly 100 points off the pace, so it's pretty much a logjam up in the top 4 spots nearly, basically the top 3 though. Looking down the list though, where me and my brother are, my brother's fallen to 42nd spot, I've fallen to 44th. Me and my brother are, how much is that? 35 points in between each other. I am level with Cousins Barbie, which is in 43rd spot. So right now we're fighting hard for a top 30 finish. I was trying to do last week, had a pretty poor performance in the buys, but haven't really done a lot over the last few weeks as well. So hopefully this week we can get a good score. I'm hoping that I can get, 18, 1900, have a really good week. At this stage, I'm looking at Nick Dacos as captain because he gets the West Coast Eagles. Hopefully he scores well. Can't see a tag coming there. And Matt Kennedy as the vice captain against the Swans. I think in his first game back, I think with his first game for the team, I think he can fire. That's why I've picked him on Friday night. But guys, that is pretty much all we have for the review for this episode. If you did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. But for now, we'll catch you all in the next one.